Hello, YouTube watchers, fellow Flat Belly travelers, and coffee chat people. Welcome to YouTube. I'm going to give this little talk about desire, but first of all, I want to start out with a little statement, which I want to include a version of in everything I do, hopefully, by stealing a word from a great speaker named T. Harv Eker, who used to say, I'm not sure if he does anymore, but he used to say at the beginning of some of his talks, something along the lines of, "Don't believe anything I say." And people would look at him kind of funny and say, you know, "Harv, I've just spent X number of dollars on your course. Why are you telling me not to believe it?" And his point was, don't believe anything I say or believe anything anybody says just because I or anybody is saying it. Believe it because it works for you. Try it on for size. And if there's something there that fits you, fits in your life, use it. I just wanted to have that there because anything I say here is really coming from me and is my experience. And hopefully, because we all have our little similarities, hopefully some of what I say is helpful to you. So carrying on then, I'm going to make this statement that we can probably, you and I, likely agree that achievement in anything begins somewhere around this idea of desire, as a first step, you might say. And with that statement, let's boil it down a bit so we can further understand. To do this, I want to use excerpts from a story about Margaret. And if you're not familiar with the story about Margaret, it's a story I wrote many months ago online. And it was about a lady who recognized the desire within herself that for something that she wanted, and she set out to achieve it and achieved it. And it happened to be she wanted to lose weight and have a flatter belly. Kind of immaterial though, because we all want different things. Now, I'm going to use excerpts, and even if you haven't read the story, it doesn't really matter because it'll be self-explanatory. For example, at the beginning of her story, it says something like, "For whatever reason, at a certain point in her life, Margaret developed a desire, ... for what she wanted." Now it's those three first words which point to desire having something which more than meets the eye. And actually, desire represents something very powerful. And like Margaret, we all have reasons for our desires. Different for each one of us, of course, because we're all different. Yet similar in certain ways. Now suppose we do actually have agreement of desire's importance to achievement. Let's boil it down even further still, so we can further understand. Suppose we go to YouTube or Google and type in the words how to have whatever it is we want, to do whatever it is we want, or achieve something. Why is it we're actually doing that? Or if we just straight out ask ourselves the question, why do we want what we want? But once again, in Margaret's story, we find that she has found the answers to these questions in the final paragraphs for herself. Because she's found that the real prize to any achievement are the feelings she experiences which add up to her quality of life. In her words, life is like a continuum, wherein when one chooses to advance, the real prize is greater life, with feelings of happiness, joy, achievement, and much more. And like Margaret, do we all want to enjoy life more? Do we all want to have a greater experience in life? Have a fuller experience in life? Sure, we all do, don't we? It's probably a great reason why we're here in this journey called life. So when we think about it, it's rarely the thing we're after. Rather, it's what the thing represents and how we feel about it that we really want. In other words, if we can imagine the feelings associated with having a certain body figure, having a certain amount of money, or having a certain relationship, and we like the feelings associated with those thoughts, then we desire them. On the other hand, if we have thoughts of being broke, or being out of shape, or being lonely, and we don't like the feelings associated with those thoughts, then we reject them. So it really boils down to how we feel, doesn't it? And so when we can help ourselves to improve the quality of our life by desiring and achieving results, yes, our quality of life can improve in that moment. And conversely, the opposite is true. Feelings of sadness, despair, anger, and so on tear us down and create a lower quality of life. So naturally, we want the higher states because we get to experience life on a greater level. And this is an important concept for